Have you been struggling with the Poke Radar in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl? Well, don't worry, because the game recently updated. We are now in version 1.1.2, so maybe the Poke Radar was fixed. Nope, it was actually made worse. What? So it seems that somewhere between version 1.0 and 1.1.2, Poke Radar chain breaking was rewritten and is apparently worse. Now, you only get the 10% bonus if you go after the furthest tiles 4 away and capture the Pokemon. However, this doesn't change the optimal hunting method. So here's your handy dandy little chart. And yeah, the way that it works is that the closer the shaking grass, like you should know how the Poke Radar works by this point. But yeah, the closer the shaking grass is, the higher chance for failure. However, if you capture the Pokemon, you get a flat 10% chance. Except on the closest rings. So let's say you were gambling. Let's say like you didn't want to reset it, there wasn't one that was 4 out, or you're just lazy, or maybe you missed it. Like that could be something that happens, that because like if it starts getting weird on the angles, maybe you go 3 out when you thought you went 4 out, I don't know, and then you're just like, screw it, I'll just go for the 83% chance. Like, that's not the worst. Actually, it was worse than you thought, and maybe that's why you were breaking chains. So you always had to do it perfectly, and we've already been talking about this. And that's the thing, like, okay, so this information has been out for a few hours now. Actually, it's been out for like over 24 hours. I wanted to wait for an update. I'm like, okay, they made it worse, but did they fix anything else? You know, data miners, guys, what's going on? No, this is the only update about the Poke Radar that we have for version 1.1.2. I waited, so it seems like all of these problems are still in as well. Okay then, so yeah, that was kind of like the thing. So we go down here and then we can compare it to like the original games and whatnot, where it's like 98 versus 93%. This is just worse. This is just harder. Even doing everything right, you have a very high chance for failure. And now you have even higher chance for failure if you slip up just a little bit. I have no idea how this was being tested. Did they try to fix it and then they ended up breaking it and they didn't realize that it was broken? I don't know, but also there's no update, so it seems like it's still that even if you get a high chain, you only get 1 chance for very low IV. And the thing is, compared to other modern Pokemon methods, 3 IVs isn't really that great, and getting 3 IVs on only the 40th chain wouldn't even be good, even if we had the original Diamond and Pearl odds, like the 2% chance to break the chain instead of 7% chance. It needs to be like Pokemon Let's Go, to where once you hit that threshold in the chain, every Pokemon has those IVs, and then we're talking about some pretty cool Ditto farming and stuff, but with how likely it is to break the chain, like, until these numbers are fixed, and until this is fixed, the Poke Radar is still useless, and it's technically worse, because like, yeah, this is just an objective nerf, but if you're doing it right, you're not going to feel the nerf, but it's still annoyingly bad, and it doesn't seem like any other issues have been fixed, because depending on swarms, there's like glitched grass tiles. Also, a grass tile can spawn inside of a trainer, so if there's the shiny grass and there's a trainer over it and you can't walk through it, that's just it. And it doesn't really seem like there's any other update about the issues with the Poke Radar, because yeah, Kurt just retweeted this, didn't elaborate any further, and left. So if there was a fix to something, I think we know about it, especially like this many days after the patch, unless it was just like completely forgotten, like, oh yeah, there's so many problems with Poke Radar, we forgot to check them all, or something. I don't know. So yeah, Poke Radar is still looking pretty rough, and that kind of means like the optimal Poke Radar chaining is not going here. It's not like just praying for RNG, because the IVs don't make it worth it. Like, even if the IVs did work, you still don't want to gamble past 30 on this. So now you need to find a sweet spot somewhere in between here, and I don't know what the optimal math is. So as you can see, we get like diminishing returns until manual numbers just like get a crazy drop right here. And then past 35, that's where we get the crazy odds. Like, somehow you get that 5% chance to make it to chain 40. Now you're dealing with 1 in 25 per radar reset of getting a shiny. However, this actually really hurts in a weird way, because what if the shiny patch is close to you? Is that why they nerfed it? Like, I don't see how too many shinies were coming into the game with this radar system over at Ilka Studios to make them not comfortable with like having the original odds. Because yeah, so let's say it's like, oh, the shiny patch is on the second tile. So it's actually over a 1 in 3 chance that you break that instead of closer to 1 in 4, which means the shiny chain doesn't continue, because that is like the quality of life improvement. The one quality of life improvement is that if you catch the shiny, the chain resumes. So in theory, you could like chain crazy shinies, but it's still nowhere near as good as Pokemon Let's Go. And yeah, things get awkward and weird. So again, it comes down to like, where is the optimal chaining and shiny hunting here? Maybe there is like a math efficient, math perfect way of doing it. But you know, if you make it to like 20, your odds go to 1 in 1800. However, that's going to be per Poke Radar usage and then divided by 4. So 1 in 450. That sounds awful, but not really, because you can recharge the Poke Radar pretty quick. So you recharge, check, recharge, check, recharge, check, etc. And then eventually you get the shiny grass, and that's going to be a guaranteed shiny Pokemon. Now, here's the difference between the Shiny Charm. Reminder, Shiny Charm doesn't work with the Poke Radar. If it did, it would make a decent effect until like you get to the best odds where it pretty much makes no effect. But now, Shiny Charm matters if you're not going for like very high chain shiny Pokemon. So the difference would be, you know, around here where it's like you go for a 15 chain, 2100-ish versus 2000 kind of matters, still kind of matters like up until this point. But again, that's where it's like, where is math perfect? Where is your personal risk tolerance? Because it still gets pretty good. Like, do you stretch it? Do you risk it to 25 and then you end up at a 1 in 400, or do you just go for the 1 in 450 at 20 chain? We can actually pull up a calculator, so we can go 0.93 times 0.93. It's just so ugly, guys. It's just, this is what, like, people are saying, like, I think, like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong with the Poke Radar? Because I get, like, a max chain of 15. And I've been feeling that, too. Like, I've gotten to, like, 7, and then it breaks. I'm thinking, that just seems wrong. Like, did I mess up? There's no way I messed up. And the thing is, people are superstitious, but it changes nothing about the chaining. That if 2 patches of grass are touching, they don't affect the odds. It's always a 7% chance for failure. You can go 2 patches on the edge because it's always a 7% chance for failure. So it feels like you're doing something wrong, it feels like something weird, but now the grass generation is more robust until like spawns inside of a trainer or something, but it's more robust. And the other things that people like worried about breaking the chain, don't break the chain. Your odds just suck. Does Google Calculator not just let you hit enter and then like keep getting the numbers? There's probably like some way that you do it, but I'm not used to it compared to just like good old Windows calculator. Okay, so here we have the actual paste bin for the odds so we can really compare it. And it's one of those things where it's like the numbers just run away so quickly. Was this tested? Is this deliberate? Like, did they want shiny hunting to be this hard? Or did they just not respect multiplicative values and they went, yeah, that seems about right. You know, we knock it down a little bit because the shiny hunting is different. There is better odds. It used to be 1 in 8,192, now it's 1 in 4,096. So it's just better off the top right there, which also might be why the shiny charm is intentionally disabled. The shiny charm isn't bugged, it just doesn't work for these encounters, and maybe that's deliberate because of the naturally lower odds, but then why make this quality of life change if you're going to revert it or nerf it in future Pokemon games? Either way, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, you're not crazy. The reason why you've never gotten a chain past 15 is because by the time you get to 10, there's a 50% chance that it fails, and that's on top of the already like 1 in 3 chance you fail just a couple times in, and you need to encounter and catch that many Pokemon to get to that point. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Why? Like, the numbers were so much better. There was a 44% chance you make it to 40 chain in the original games. Now there's a 33% chance you make it to 15, or whatever number I just said, for this. So yeah, that's what I mean, like, okay, you compare it over here, like, man, that is looking pretty rough. So it's still 1 in 2,000. Yeah, you kind of want to get to like the 20s to really get them good odds. And the great odds are down here, but that's just impossible at this point. So I don't know where you want to go, but I mean, at least it starts running away from you not as crazily. Oh man, 33 to 32. So it's not like this is your chance of getting to the next chain. This is just your chance of making it to that chain. So like if you get here, you know, it's 7% chance it fails, but like the cumulative odds are something. So I mean, like, this is around 20. So yeah, the drop here is like 50, 50, 50, 40, 40 some, like 42, and then 40, and then less than that, and 38. So I mean, around here, yeah, it just stops being worth it. 1 in 20, 48. Like, do you get to 16 and then just like hold there, or do you push it to 23? I mean, the difference there is still just like, you break it here because you got greedy, and then you're feeling awful. So I mean, like, getting your chain to 20 might be the goal, but it still takes forever to get there, and there's still like a very low chance you even make it to 20, and then you have to reset the Poke Radar 400 times for that shiny. It's rough. It's rough. And it, again, like, maybe, I don't even know, there's no saving this. There is no saving these numbers regardless. Like I said, even if the IVs worked, this doesn't seem worth it. And even to offset like shiny odds or things like, this is modern Pokemon. You should have just made it work. Like 97% chance, because then like again, the numbers just start running away on that multiplicative stuff. So like, compared to Diamond and Pearl had the 98, just make it like 97 in Brilliant Diamond Shiny Pearl. 96. No buff though, 1.1.2. We're not in 1.2. So the 1.1.2 makes it weird on more like bug fixes and trying to make the game, like trying to salvage the game instead of a balance patch. Like balance patch is 1.2. So there was like no deliberate balance here, but it wasn't tested in like 1.1 as to what happened here. Like this could have been a 1.1 change, not even a 1.1.2 change or 1.1.1. Who even knows? The game is in a weird state. So I mean, like, maybe this gets fixed in 1.2, but it seems to be low priority. And that's just the thing about main series Pokemon games. Main series Pokemon games don't get balance patches. You get the game, that's it. And then it's like bug fixes, but not quality of life improvements on future updates. So there we go, guys. Seems like the Pokemon Company philosophy for the main series game is still in like the early 2000s, late 90s, or even just like any console game where there might be a console revision if there's something catastrophic in the game. But when that hard copy goes out, that's the game. And it seems like they're just kind of saying, hey, this is the game when it comes out. See you next year. So if you guys enjoy the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.